Your Excellency, the former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Excellency Jakaya Kikwete, Your Excellency, our Ambassador to the Federal Republic of Ethiopia and the Permanent Representative to the AU, Excellency Rhoda Tusime, and the AU leadership, youth and women, you are most welcome. You are most welcome to Uganda. Closing of the Youth and Women in Agri-Food Systems Pavilion. Your Excellency, we want to welcome you so much to Uganda, but most importantly to this event that you laid for us to reach this far, not only at a policy and decision-making level, but as a farmer yourself. And we are very grateful for the time you have taken to come and inspire the women and young people in this agenda. I want to thank the African Union for organizing this pavilion, and to thank all those that have worked, the other stakeholders, because of the importance of such pavilion in promoting inclusive agri-food systems transformation and focusing on empowering the youth and women. I do come here as a leader of our party, but I must say I am a farmer too, and also a product of the youth and women movement in this country at the various levels. And I want to believe that many leaders that are here are products of the peasant agri-food systems that educated us in our areas in Africa here where we come from. Many of the leaders at our level came from those peasant farming systems. And those farming systems taught us resilience, discipline, and adaptability, qualities that also underpin effective leadership, as I know there are many young and women leaders in this pavilion who are also farmers. Such challenges like climate change, resource limitations, poor post-harvest handling technologies, and underdeveloped value chain systems, they have been the obstacles, or they are still the obstacles for agricultural transformation on our continent. A lot of effort is being made, as has been highlighted here, but like we have said, the struggle to develop Africa continues. On the part of Uganda, I must say that the role of women and young people cannot be underestimated in as far as food production, in as far as employment is concerned, and economic growth, and not just for Uganda alone, but the entire continent. The problem that has been there is that both of these sectors, the youth and women, have been underrepresented at the decision-making table, and therefore platforms like this one or engagements like these ones are very, very crucial and will continue to inspire and support the young people. A number of issues as far as Uganda is concerned have been highlighted here. I can only add on that in Uganda, we have always had affirmative action. First, we started at a political level because the decision-making table and the political realm was not that very conducive. So we started from the political level, and we have moved to the economic front. That's why programs like the Youth Livelihood Project is there to support the young people, the UWEC, Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, and recently, in the last 2-3 years, we launched the Parish Development Model, and this supports young people, and there is affirmative action at that level it goes up to the parish level, which is at the lower level, but that 30% of the resources are meant for the youth, and 30% are ring-fenced for the women. So these help us to ensure financial.
Glovi Logistics Limited, your #1 customs clearing and forwarding cargo consolidation warehouse company. We do air shipment, worldwide sea shipment, transportation, tax consultation. Glovi Logistics Limited is a competent company specializing in logistics clearing and forwarding services. We have the necessary skills and resources and partnerships to tackle sizable projects to our clients' satisfaction. We are located at Mganzaraza Plaza near the entrance of Katwe, Kampala, Uganda. Call us on +256 779 634 328 or +256 701 784 648, or visit our website glovilogistics.com or write to johnglovey@gmail.com. Glovi Logistics Limited, your #1 clearing and forwarding company.
And Dr. Ruth here talked about the GROW project. It is just beginning, and we are continuing to perfect that. So we want to believe, and also the Ministry of Agriculture is soon implementing the climate smart agriculture. And in this project, or that particular project, there's going to be emphasis on youth and women, because I just want to say that climate smart agriculture will be equipping farmers, particularly youth and women, with tools to adapt to climate challenges while improving productivity, but also provide employment. We do emphasize that agriculture is a pathway for our growth. The transformative power of agriculture, not only just as a source of food, but as a driver of innovation, economic independence, community development. And in fact, African youth and women hold the key to the continent's very survival. And therefore, it's important that we continue these discussions, and the call to action brings all of us together to ensure that we implement in the various fora that we come to. We require to transition youth and women from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture by supporting value addition, market access, digital transformation or digital innovation, and cheap and patient capital to ensure that they participate effectively. We also highlight efforts to integrate youth into cooperatives and value chains, ensuring access to financing, mentorship, and collective opportunities for growth. I just want to encourage the young people to view agriculture as an innovative and profitable sector that can harness their creativity, their energy, and the time. It's a vital role of women in ensuring food security and to embrace leadership roles within the agricultural ecosystems across the various value chains. I want to acknowledge the partnership with organizations like FAO, like AGRA, like IFAD, which have supported Uganda's efforts to have such an event and ensure that there is information sharing. We note the role of the public-private partnerships in increasing access to agriculture technologies and financial services for young and female farmers. In closing, I want to reaffirm Uganda's commitment to empowering youth and women through agriculture, underscoring its role in achieving national and international and continental development goals. I want to say that we have a message of hope, resilience, unity, emphasizing that agriculture is not only a livelihood, but also a source and a foundation for building a prosperous an inclusive Africa through a multi-sectoral and inter-institutional.
Of all the strength that your sweat goes in every single moment that you wake up early in the morning, go to sleep, bed late, you want to have a beautiful home. Acquiring a beautiful home makes your dreams come true. We at CABE International Group are proud to extend our deepest in strength, expertise and team to make your home beautiful. We do stone building and carving on all the nature of buildings that you would like to hold. Stones make a home so beautiful that you cannot underestimate the beauty of stones. From every perfect stone and every carve and every crafting, we do and we achieve this. At CABE International Group, we don't only do that, we also paint your homes. Every nature of paint that you would love to make your home beautiful is available at CABE International Group. A well-dedicated team is here to make it happen for you. Contact us today so we can make your home the most beautiful and secure of all at friendly prices. That is what we are promising you, with a lot of dedication and sincerity, honesty, and every category that you want to achieve. This is what we are talking about. CABE International Group, your number one partner to make a beautiful home for you with great services of painting and stone. This is what we are. Call us today on +256 773 1375 66.
Collaboration. I thank you so much. Allow me to take this singular opportunity to invite our leader, Your Excellency, former President Jakaya Kikwete. You are most welcome to the pavilion. A round of applause for him. It is a pleasure to have you here and to come and share your experiences with the youth and women of the continent. We continue to tap into your wisdom, so that the political and the practical level. Most welcome.
Well, I think we can sit. Well, thank you very much, Honorable Rosemary Namayanja, the Deputy Secretary General, the ruling part of Uganda. Excellency Rebecca Mutengo, Uganda's ambassador to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the African Union. Excellency Rhoda Musimi, former Commissioner of Rural Economy and Agriculture of the African Union Commission. Ministers, distinguished participants, young people and women, good evening. Begin by saying I feel greatly honored and privileged to get the opportunity to speak at the closing of the two-day discussions on the place of youth and women in agri-food systems in Africa. At this juncture, when we are ushering in the next phase of the CADEP agenda for the coming decade, we have a rare opportunity to strengthen the hand of youth and women to meaningfully and effectively contribute to agri-food systems development on the continent. I commend you for a carefully thought and well-structured and well-argued declaration.
Laptop Solutions, your dealers in new and used computers and accessories. This is the gadget hub you have for all your components you need for computers. In Amazon, we do camera installations, software, hardware, networking, and repair and maintenance. We are located at Naluvega Complex G18. And we're here by Bomba Road. We're just opposite KPC, Watoto Church, downtown. You can contact us on 0782 999 089, or you can call us on 075 227 536. Amazon, your laptop solutions.
Trust our leaders. We listen and take appropriate action. But I'm encouraged by the draft Kampala Cadec Declaration, which emphasizes the critical role of women and youth in shaping the inclusive and resilient agri-food systems in Africa. Through the strategic objective number 4, which is already has been referenced here, the draft declaration calls for advancing inclusivity and equitable livelihood, underscoring the need to empower youth and women with the resources, knowledge, and opportunities to ensure their effective contribution towards agri-food systems transformation in Africa. But as we were reminded yesterday and today, that it is action rather than words that will count. We should all focus on the post-summit implementation of the action of the cadec objectives and targets. If there is good action, the commitment, we've made it. But if there is going to be silence, go back to business as usual, well, that will be very sad. Clearly, a focus on action is the only route that will reverse the manifest marginalization of youth and women in agri-food systems transformation. We need a sense of urgency to make the transition from rhetoric to implementation of commitments. 2/3 of the women in Africa are engaged in agriculture. But Africa is the youngest continent in the world, with 70% of its population being youth. Therefore, every effort must be made to address the binding constraints that have limited youth and women's meaningful and profitable contribution to agri-food systems transformation. Youth and women are the change makers, but they will need support. Youth and women must be at the center of Africa's food systems transformation. Yesterday, We are reminded of the African proverb that says, young trees of today are the forest of tomorrow. Similarly, youth represent the future of tomorrow. They represent the present and the future. We must give them the means to drive transformation of agri-food systems in the days to come. On the other hand, women are the mothers of the nations, the pillars of families, and pillars of nutrition. Currently, the participation and voices of women is not commensurate to the role they continue to play in the agricultural sector. You know, in our African culture, where somebody can have 4 or 5 women, they don't have to work on the land. It's the women who work. But interestingly, it is the man who takes the crop to the market. And he may just use it and marry another wife. So the voice of women has to be heard. They make so much contribution. They make a lot of sacrifice. But there is no commensurate recognition of that contribution. Youth and women must be accorded the platform to raise their voices and play their rightful role in food systems transformation. I agree with the point made yesterday that youth is not just a demographic statistic, but it is a force to be reckoned with in agri-food systems transformation. Throughout the 2 days discussions, panelists emphasized the evident point that youth and women face substantial challenges in agri-food systems. I was lucky to hear the last panel. Very eloquent, very forceful, and very powerful women. I hope their voices have been heard. The challenges include limited access to land. It was raised clear. Well, many of our societies, women don't own land. And was it you who said they're simply being told you'll get land when you get married? She gets married and the husband divorces her. She gets nothing. At home, she's been denied. And at the in-laws, she's also been denied the rights. And when the husband dies, in a number of our societies, that's where the nightmare of women really starts. So, it's important that all efforts is going to be expended to make sure that we fight for the rights of women, at least to own land. I'm glad it has been emphasized clearly in the discussions, but also in your declaration. But also the other challenge that needs support is access to financial resources. to a bank, he or she wants credit, she's asked for collateral.
Welcome to Princess Branding Services. Do you have a party, introduction, or you have lost a loved one and you intend to do burial or branding? At Princess Branding Services, they do branding for baby shower, political rallies, and all kinds of celebrations and functions. Contact us for great and friendly, affordable prices. We will brand your t-shirts, capes, bottles, umbrellas, photos, bags, frames, and much more. Contact us on the number on your screen. +256 783 20 95 79 or +256 744 580326. Email princessbranding256@gmail.com.
Ask for collateral from a young man. Where does he or she get that collateral? He's young anyway. To ask collateral from a lady where she's not allowed to own land, it becomes again a complicated matter. So these are some of those challenges that I hope our leaders will address. But there is also the fact of education. All these act as impediments for their ability to be fully engaged and thrive within the agri-food systems. Cultural and structural barriers often restrict participation, leading to underutilization of their potential and ultimately diminished agricultural productivity, because this important human capital is not fully utilized. One panelist here noted emphatically that key challenges that women and youth face is one of access to the productive forces, land, inputs, technologies, finance, and other opportunities. From the discussions yesterday, I'm told, and today, 3 systemic barriers that deter youth and women in agri-food systems were highlighted. I'm told you raised the issue of access to innovations and entrepreneurial skills. You raised skills and organizational capacity of youth-led, women and youth-led organizations being weak. And you also raised the challenges of investments and financing, which I've already mentioned. I can't agree with you more. With this analysis, I strongly propose that measures be taken to mitigate these systemic barriers. We must embrace the correct narrative on youth and women by going beyond the focus on inclusion to being deliberate about empowerment. Because at times we talk about inclusion. Say, yes, fine, we've included them. But have you empowered them? It's not only getting a seat at the table, but also it is about empowerment. We brought them to the table, empower them. Because bringing them to the table means about hearing them speak. But empowering is that after they have spoken, we go out and take the necessary or the requisite action. We must, therefore, embrace visionary approaches that will help to break the vicious cycle that keeps youth and women in poverty. countries and societies are poor, but women and young people are poor. So this is something that we have to be honest about it and try to do what is required to make sure that we address this particular challenge. Transformation of agri-food systems will not happen without women and youth. But we need to unlock the potential of youth and women so that they can participate effectively. As we conclude our discussions today on the pivotal roles of youth and women in Africa's agri-food systems, it is evident that these demographic groups are not just stakeholders, but crucial agents of change. Youth represent innovation and vitality, bringing fresh perspectives and technological prowess to the agricultural landscape. Women, on their part, are often the backbone of the food production, contributing significantly to the workforce and ensuring food security for their families and communities. To remedy the many challenges highlighted earlier, it is crucial that we implement targeted actions. These include advocating for policies that promote equitable access to resources, fostering educational programs that build skills and knowledge, and creating platforms for both youth and women to voice their needs and solutions. By empowering these groups through mentorship programs, access to financing, and participation in decision-making processes, we can harness their potential and to drive sustainable development in the agri-food sector. So, I urge every one of us, particularly the leaders, our leaders. I'm a former leader. I'm taking the hind seat. So at times when I get the opportunity, I say, okay, fine, but madam, can't you do this for the young people and the women? They say, okay, yes, we will. So that's why I'm saying, I urge every one of us, particularly our leaders, to recognize that youth and women are not simply participants in the agri-food systems, but they are leaders, innovators, and change agents. The agri-food system value chain is long. It starts from the farm up to the plate. So in between there are so many processes there, where some can participate in the production itself, others can be suppliers of inputs, others can be consultants, others can do the trading, others can be buyers of farmers' products. Because among the challenges that this whole value chain is, there are so many challenges. Yesterday I was speaking at another side event on the evidence-based actions and decisions. We are looking at the challenges that are facing the African agriculture systems. We say, number one, we are over-reliant on God's rain. And the human beings have the capacity of making God angry. And when
For more than 10 years, Keb International Group has been your #1 partner in tours and travel consultancy. We also do real estate, legal services, ICT services, and much more. Find us on kebinternationalgroup.com or write to us at info@kebinternationalgroup.com. You may also write to us at PO Box 35827 Kampala, Uganda, or visit us on Namaswa Hill off Entebbe Highway. Call us on +256 200-937566 or +256 3948632 or 46. Or you can send us a plus on WhatsApp on +256 752 1375 66. Keb International Group, your #1 rail business partner.
At times he denies us his rain. Or at times he brings the rain that destroys everything. There is very little agriculture in Africa. The other challenge that we have is the dominance of the hand hoe. There is very little mechanization. Therefore, farm sizes are small. But even the tilling of the land is not up to the standards where if someone plants, because you need to have a lot of aeration on the ground, water has to seep through the soils, there has to be enough moisture. But with the hand hoe, you can't do all of that. We looked at the other challenge. The seeds that we use. Low yielding seeds. So if someone with the same amount of land, but he uses high yielding seeds, and you use the traditional low yielding seeds, you will not earn as much. It's what keeps us hunger and poverty. We raise the issue of little use of fertilizer. Soils, not all the soils have all the nutrients that plants need. There is very little use of fertilizers. Even where we have so many cows, the manure is not used. We looked at the other challenge of the problems of pesticides, also deplete the crop. We looked at the other challenge of support systems, financing, which we raised, infrastructure to the rural areas. We also discussed the other critical point of skills among the farmers. This is where extension service is critical. Extension service is not readily available. We looked at crop marketing systems. Some farmers already have produce, but the markets are not certain. The prices are low, so they don't get return, commensurate return to the salt and toil that they have expended on the land. We looked at a number of those issues. We said this is the evidence that our agricultural productivity is low. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need you don't need to do so many huge, long studies, expensive studies. So if we can unlock these constraints that are constraining productivity and production on the continent, we'll be able to increase productivity, and more, and take ourselves out of poverty and the youth and women. So we said, where there is the head home, it is not easy to attract young people to agriculture. Yeah. So that is where innovation, mechanization, and introduction of modern technologies is also critical. So that's why I'm really excited by my participation. I thank Jakaya, I thank the African Union for inviting me to participate and listen and share my thoughts on this. And again this evening, share. So I'm saying in the value chain, there is so much that young people and women can just pick. I'm going to pick this aspect. I'm going to be the supplier of fertilizers. I'm going to be the supplier of pesticides. Yes. I'm going to be the commission agent, the agent for tractors. Yeah, the small tractors and the big tractors. So this is the whole value chain, because we should not look at, when we talk about agri-food systems, it is only about farming. Get out of that notion. There is so much that we can get involved in. It is a long value chain. So, again, I would say, in conclusion, let us take a collective stand and call upon governments, development partners, donors, and the private sector to prioritize and invest in the empowerment of youth and women as they participate in the agricultural value chain. Together, we can be really resilient and inclusive agri-food systems, fight hunger, fight poverty, and ensure good nutrition for ourselves and for our children. And for me, for my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Thank you. Do I have to say anything? Now I declare that this pavilion discussion on youth and women's participation in the agri-food systems is postponed until the next calendar. It is things adjourned until the next calendar. But this is also the other thing, that when they said until the next calendar, so the next calendar is 10 years. I'm 75 now. I may not be there. I would really suggest that this pavilion kind of discussions on women and youth should be made by
of all the strength that your sweat goes in every single moment that you wake up early in the morning, go to sleep, bed late, you want to have a beautiful home. Acquiring a beautiful home makes your dreams come true. We at CABE International Group are proud to extend our deepest in strength, expertise, and team to make your home beautiful. We do stone building and carving on all the nature of buildings that you would like to hold. Stones make a home so beautiful that you cannot underestimate the beauty of stones. From every perfect stone, every carve and every crafting, we do and we achieve this. At CABE International Group, we don't only do that, we also paint your homes. Every nature or paint that you would love to make your home beautiful is available at Cape International Group. A well-dedicated team is here to make it happen for you. Contact us today so we can make your home the most beautiful and secure of all at friendly prices. That is what we are promising you, with a lot of dedication and sincerity, honesty, and every category that you want to achieve. This is what we are talking about. Cape International Group, your number one partner to make a beautiful home for you, with great services of painting and stone. This is what we are. Call us today on +256 773 1375 66.
Uh, 10 years. You are representative of youth from the African Union. Come and promise. Please. This is a very important forum. To organize this forum after 10 years. After 10 years, all these who are now young people will be out of that bracket. Out of that bracket. If you have to go through something that is really serious, that will make a lot of sense that organize this forum biannually. I'm not saying annually, but biannually. After every 2 years, we organize. The African Union has the convening power. The African Union has the convening power. African Union can work with FAO, can work with AGRA. I'm a member of the board of AGRA. Yes. And you can agree that after every
Global Logistics Limited, your number one customs clearing and forwarding cargo consolidation warehouse company. We do air shipment, worldwide sea shipment, transportation, tax consultation. Lovey Logistics Limited is a competent company specializing in logistics clearing and forwarding services. We have the necessary skills and resources and partnerships to tackle sizable projects to our clients' satisfaction. We are located at Mganziraza Plaza near the entrance of Katwe, Kampala, Uganda. Call us on +256 779 634 328 or +256 701 784 648, or visit our website glovylogistics.com, or write to johnglovy@gmail.com. Glovy Logistics Limited, your number one clearing and forwarding company.
youth and women will come together. You take stock on the implementation of the Kampala Cadet Declaration, which the leaders are going to make tomorrow and sign. How far have we come? What is there any progress, or there is lack of progress? I think if you do that, this kind of convening would be very useful. And if you don't do that, and wait for the next cadet, this convening may have little impact. With those many words, I now adjourn this convention discussion until after 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, for gracing our event with your presence, and also for the powerful message that you have delivered. I have been told that there is a very good place outside there. There is a wonderful setup for group photo, everybody should be outside. I know the event.
The Senior Citizens Talk is brought to you by Africa at Heart, Heal the Planet Global Organization, HICGI News Agency. Subscribe right now to get our latest updates sent every single Sunday. Don't forget also the Talk to the World show that is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. Subscribe here on YouTube and make your notification bell right here. HICGI News Agency. Visit us on HICGINewsAgency.com and find us on all social media platforms on X, call it Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. HICGI News Agency. Subscribe now.